Ekse right here on Cape Town TV, and this particular segment is called the Sit Down with Vuyo Joboda, darlings. And every single Friday I sit down with one particular special person who will be diving deep into one topic. And on the show today we're talking about the marketing industry, and particularly how black females are treated in this industry. And joining me in studio is Tlaleng. Hello, darling.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Thank you for joining me on the Sit Down.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tlaleng, you're in the marketing industry, right? And I mean, I would just basically like to know firstly, how has this industry been for you? When did you start? Why did you start? And why did you decide to get into the marketing industry?
So it's actually been a very funny journey for me because when I started, I actually had passion for TV, but funny how I ended up in marketing, but commercial specifically, because how I started is I would watch commercials on TV, and I would start conceptualizing them in my head, how I could make it better if I was given the budget and the opportunity. So that's how the journey started. So, but unfortunately, because of lack of information when I was growing up, when I was in matric, I didn't really have the information of where to go for me to pursue that. So I ended up studying marketing so that I could do advertising and marketing. So that's how I actually got into there. And when I started doing my training, I did my training at one of the international advertising agency, and that's where I did my training. That's when I actually found myself, and I was like, actually, what I'm interested in is more the production side and more the creative side, more than the admin side where I am currently at, because right now what I'm doing is I'm currently managing clients' accounts, and so I'm just the liaising person between the agency and the client. But that has been really interesting because it helped me grow as a person, and it helped me just also find myself in the industry, and it's been really interesting.
Yeah, and I think the marketing industry, just like the television space, it looks glamorous. When we see the final product on television, or on a magazine advert, we think, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. What are some of the things that we should know about the behind the scenes or the backdrop of the industry itself?
So I think one of the things that we need to know about the behind the scenes is that there's a lot of work that actually goes into the making of the creatives that people see, whether on TV, whether on billboards, whether on whether they hear them on radio. There's a lot of work that goes into that. There's a lot of teamwork involved, and there's a lot of also budgets involved, what I mean? Because I know that there's a lot of people that come into that want to from the more the client side, they come and they just expect and they think that it's easy actually to produce these things, but it's not really easy. So there's actually a lot of work that goes into this, and a very great team. So that's what makes these things great, having a great team that you're working with, you understanding the client, you understanding the client's needs and what the client wants, and you being able to identify the gaps, and just being able to take a client and the client business to where their objectives are.
I mean, it's 2019 and you're a black female. How are the dynamics for you within this industry that you're in? Is it easy? Is it free flowing? Are there any challenges? Just share with us some of those particular dynamics.
So I think that it's just like you made mention of the entertainment industry. You really have to prove yourself. Maybe like any other industry, excuse me. So I think some of the dynamics is that I mean, when you look at the advertising agency space, which the space that I've been for the past 3-4 years, it's still very challenging actually for me to put that for a black female. But they are breaking the ceiling, they are breaking stereotypes. We are having females that are really now are occupying senior positions. But it actually takes a lot of time. For me, I'm going to say that I've been in the industry for more than 2 to 3, 4 years, and I'm still trying to get to that level. But it's not easy. You really have to prove yourself, and
And Tlaleng, what is the future looking like for particularly for you and for the bigger marketing industry within South Africa?
So the future for the marketing industry in South Africa is really, really, for me, I think it's looking really bright. Funny enough, I was having a conversation with these two gentlemen from Equatorial Guinea 2 days ago, and we were just talking about marketing. I know a lot of people feel like marketing is dying, probably like, like there's not a lot of clients, people are not getting business. But I think that when you look at big brands like your Coca-Cola, I mean, they set aside a lot of budgets for marketing, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's just one industry that keeps getting better. It's just that one industry that has to start understanding the needs of their customers, that just start understanding what it is that they want.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you get that one right, like you will never go wrong.
Oh, man.
So for me, I feel like, okay, what the future is looking like for me is, one day I would like to open my own, my own agency.
Yay.
So yay!
Marketing agency about to open.
So
Yes.
that is my goal actually. So right now what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. From the people that I work with, and then I'm sure that by the time when I feel that I'm ready to start my own thing, then we'll definitely go and just do my thing.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear more. When you do open that agency, do come back on the show and let's chat more about it.
Definitely.
Social media plays a very big role in today's society. I mean, we're globalizing space, and we're wanting to know more about other countries, other people, and I guess it's also affecting the marketing industry as well. Compared to the traditional ways of marketing. How is social media playing a role, do you think, or is that where we're going to be fully are we going to stop having billboards? What's the future looking like in the social media space?
So I have to say that the social media space has been occupying like a chunk of the marketing budget.
Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of people live. That's where a lot of people spend their time. And it's scary because when you look at where the future's headed, there's more like your AR, there's a lot of things that are happening, but the digital space, definitely, that's where I foresee a lot of brand playing in that space.
Yes.
Because, I mean, that's where we spend our time. Literally, we spend, look at, just, think about you,
Yes.
like how much time you spend on your phone and on the internet, so I feel like that is where a lot of like the marketing budget is going to be, and a lot of brands are going to be playing like in the digital space, because I feel like that's where we're headed.
Yeah. And Tlaleng, you mentioned earlier on that there was when you were beginning in the industry, you were not aware of certain things about the industry. If someone's sitting at home and they think to themselves, I want to get into the marketing space, but I don't know how do I go about, what do I study, where do I go, who do I look, who do I go to, because I might not have access to that information. So if you could just share with us on some of the ways into getting into the space and getting into the industry.
I think one for me, like if you've got access to people that are already in the industry, that for me, that would help a lot. But if you obviously do not have like access to the people that are already in the industry, the internet would help a lot as well.
Yes, we have to unfortunately wrap up. But definitely social media details before we let you go.
Tlaleng Lesemela, Facebook, and then Royalty09 Instagram.
Oh yes, darlings, and that is how we wrap up the Sit Down with Vuyo Joboda on this week. But right now, let's go to a quick performance by Lelays. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah. It's alright. Yeah. Yeah. It's alright. So clean, my voice seems so mean. They bow when they talk to me, cause I know they clean. Everybody raps I see. Come on the beat you see. Now they call me nasty C. So I change my color. That's another way to tell you just go. If you don't wanna do it, then come and kiss me. I don't talk, let's go to Mike and Brewery. Niggas hating me, I go right on it. Yeah. Who put the lighter in my head? Alright, yeah. Who put the mic in my head? Not a scat, yeah. Everybody in my squad dressing alright, yeah. Who put the lighter in my head? Who put the lighter in my head? It's alright, yeah. Who put the lighter in my head? It's alright, yeah. Who put the mic in my head? It's alright, yeah. Everybody nowadays get it's alright, yeah. Everybody wearing orange. It's alright, yeah. Who put the lighter in my head? It's alright, yeah. Who put the mic in my head? It's alright, yeah. Everybody nowadays get it's alright, yeah. Everybody wearing orange. It's time for out there, everybody talking. Yeah. Don't wanna see me win, so you're blocking my way. Yeah, I'm trying to smoke a J, you wanna smoke. Yeah, none of be my friend, no time for that. Yeah, everybody wearing orange. Yeah, like my back will feel alright. Shit, I don't take shots, I stand. Yeah, I don't play niggas like Shrek. Yeah, who put it in my head? Yeah, who put it in my head? Who put it in my head? Who put the lighter in my head? It's alright, yeah. Who put the mic in my head? It's alright, yeah. Everybody nowadays scared. It's alright, yeah. Everybody wearing orange.